Hello, world. Hello, hello, world, world, hello. Howdy, hello, hello. Everybody here, everybody here, everybody go. Testing audio, testing audio, testing. All right, good, looks good. What's up? Welcome. So I'm in a mood of just kind of like strategic planning and a chess-like endeavor to figure out. I want a puzzle game. I want a puzzle game, not to do with programming, not right now. I've burnt out my programming capacitors in my brain. The hell is this? This is so dirty. So we're gonna play something called Midnight Protocol, which honestly, one first thing, if you haven't played Hackers on Android, great game. Is this the one? Yeah, yeah. This is the game where I've been playing this for years. I have my own setup. It's very puzzle related. You have different types of modules that either spread to nodes like a virus, or you DDoS specific nodes to overcome and take over, and then spread throughout a network to steal resources like money and BTC, something like a Bitcoin, like a crypto sort of thing. You know what I mean? So great game, first and foremost. Take a look at that. Uh, it's a great, oh my God. I still play it. I haven't played it lately. That's because I kind of got to the end, quote unquote, end, like top something percent. I don't know where. But great game to play. And I say this because this is a similar kind of flow, right? We're dealing with network topology. So take a look at how those particular networks are set up with different nodes connected in different ways. And you have a 3 minute span in order to get through and actually hack it off, right? Get whatever resources you need and bounce as soon as you can before the timer runs out and you get completely disconnected from the network. This, I say it, and I connect these two games because it really does remind me to this. It reminds me to that particular game. Also, before we get started, just so you know, I have a Patreon. I do any assistance with mathematics, academic, science, biology, chemistry, physics, calculus 1, 2, and 3, algebra. Just because I do high level math doesn't mean I can't help you on a basic level. I have assisted students from third grade up to 12th and prepared them simultaneously throughout our sessions for college. And this includes students that have had for literally 3 to 4 years. It really became more than just tutoring at that point with a lot of my students. It became mentorship. I was able to help them not only through mathematical subjects, how to Matthew, one of my first students on a online remote case. So I used to work at Valencia and UCF, and I would be tutoring in mathematics there, and I would help a lot of different subjects, some business majors, some medical majors, some mathematicians, some physicists, whatever, but they were in their early stages. And I would help them with their algebra up to calculus. But that was all live going into an office and working there. But my first student, Matthew, he was with me for 3 or 4 years, came in with a D, like just not doing so good. D isn't not doing so good in class, right? And we got him within the year up to an A. And after another year, he was doing math. We were competing, me versus him, on who can do mathematic or like specific types of problems faster. And he was impressive. And eventually we ran out of stuff in math to do, so I taught him a little bit about computers. And his friends got into a little trouble with computers in school, but he was still the good kid and he knew how to not be the one in trouble with certain things. I hope he's doing good. If you're out there, Matthew, keep kicking butt. And I miss you, buddy. It's been some time. So, what was I saying, guys? I don't know why. If you need help in anything that is academic, mathematics, and programming as well, you've seen a lot of my programming videos. I like to do more programming because it seems a bit more of a subject people want to see, especially when you put the word hacker in it. Because everyone's all about this whole hacker culture nowadays. And honestly, it does make a little sense because corporations, if you've seen Mr. Robot, corporations are reaching pretty far lately. Anyway, so if you need any help, check out my Patreon. If you just want to support me, there is free membership. If you just need basic help, like just, hey, I got a question, here's a picture, use the professor office. It's $7 a month. I will send you back a picture with all the information. But if you actually want like an hour session with me, learning on a whiteboard, communicating live, then there are other options next to it for different amounts of hours. That's all the spew for now. And a fun little story about my past students. And I'm thinking about making some shorts related to some students that I have currently, uh, with some highlights of what they're learning. But it's going to be a lot of math, so I don't know if a lot of you are on the math side of things, but I hope to bring you there. Come to the math side and the computer side because we have cookies in the browser extension. Anyway, Midnight Protocol. What does it look like? I started playing this recently. I got a very good kick out of it, and I want to basically do some mental puzzle gymnastics. I want to jump some hoops and think about predicting a path, and it's a really good storyline. Actually, let me first see the audio is going in the right place. Nope. Audio. Audio. ¿Dónde es tú? There we go. Yes. Muy bien. Muy bien. So let's check this game out. I've played a little bit. You are in the seat of a hacker who's been gone for a bit. You are using commands that are very, I mean, really, it's like the Hackers movie. If you've ever seen it, 1998, definitely recommend it. Old movie, beautiful visualizations on what it would be if you were technically accessing the Gibson, if you know what I mean. Um, Great movie, watch it, but it does really remind me in that form of like the sort of fantasized version of what hacking looks like. And this is kind of that. This is this fantasized version, but a very good storyline nonetheless. Uh, what? I'm just smacking my head on the keyboard here. All right, so we're back into our little setup. We are. We have a moral meter. So far, we're good. So far, we're not bad. Status. Let me see real quick. Black hat, reputation. I'm white hat, gray hat. Good versus bad, right? Light versus dark, or good versus evil, whatever. As long as I don't touch black, I'll be alright. Gray hat sometimes, right? I'd rather have a majority white with a little bit of gray just in case. All right, email. All right, so we've got a bait on a server for Kraken, right? So Kraken was the guy. Oh buddy, oh yeah. Is it me or is this kind of loud? There you go. So we got this guy Kraken. He's been messing with us, kind of doxed us and got us in trouble. Probably some form of rivalry or, well, backstab. So we put a Trojan on the server. We're waiting for him to fight, go on the server. He's supposed to be hacking, I think, a hospital. We hacked in first. We set a Trojan. We're waiting for him to hack that hospital and then be affected by the Trojan so we can get some more details. I have a budget. The Wire. What draws you to the net like moth to a flame? Is it the shot of adrenaline, the drive to compete? Why can I not scroll down? Why? What? Can I not select a particular email? Oh, shift scroll. Got it. What draws us to the net like moth to a flame? Is it that shot of adrenaline, the drive to compete, the challenge of laying bare that which with absolute confidence was considered impenetrable? Our team is once again delighted to announce the Wire Trials. All right, great. Oh marketing. It was a great start, but then marketing. Gone fishing. Okay, so that's the one that's currently going on. Hunt down the hacker responsible for leaking data's identity. We're still waiting for that guy. We do have some addresses we can work with. We've got a playground to practice some of our hacking. We can search the internet. Memo, hacker chat. Ooh. Theme? Oh. I like that one. Conflicts, though. Whoa. Whoa, what? Onion. Objective of the game. Capture your opponent's king or put your own on the starting space of the enemy king. Each player controls 5 pieces, 4 soldiers, circles, and 1 king, hexagon. You play as black. During your turn, you move one of your pieces, move onto a space occupied by an opponent piece to capture it. You cannot move onto a space occupied by one of your own pieces. There are 5 movements: harpoon, dagger, shuriken, jackhammer, and onion. Each turn, 2 of those are available to you. 2 others to your opponent. After a player has used a program to move, it is switched out for the 5th program. It's literally like chess, but like literally computer chess. That's sick. The dark square on a program represents the piece's current space. To move a piece, enter piece program space. Piece program space. Interesting. Jackhammer, huh? I can move to any of those locations. Piece. So E0. Let's say harpoon. Harpoon towards... Oh, well, I'm gonna just go suicide here because I don't know what I'm doing. Piece should be... Oh, okay. 1 harpoon A0. Instance. Object reference not set to an instance. Harpoon. Is that all caps? You don't have a move called harpoon. The 1? Alright, fine. Dagger. E1. Don't have dagger. Oh, is it that I just use mine that are in black right now? Okay, interesting. So maybe E1 again. Shuriken. E1. Object reference not set to an instance. You cannot capture your own piece. I'm not trying to capture my own piece. I'm trying to move diagonally at... Oh! I put E instead of D. Oops. D1. Ah! Oh! This is insane. This is interesting. Okay, okay, okay. So, okay, then he's got specific moves. He's got the dagger. So if I go and get... I can harpoon into his 2, but that's not going to work because then he can counter with the dagger. He can technically... No, I can't harpoon. He can harpoon. So he can harpoon into me. But, that's such a weird... Okay. He's got the dagger, so he can take that. I'm gonna use 1 again. Jackhammer. C2. Ooh. Ooh, dagger! Let's go. Alright, so then 1 dagger. Then he can probably harpoon into me, but that's fine. It's 1 for 1. C1. Bam. Is he dumb? He can't really... Jackhammer is a forward. Onion's backwards, jackhammer's forward. I cannot do much. Why does he get that? Is that jackhammers for both of us? Is that something we can both use? I'm not even sure. Let's do 1 jackhammer. D2. You don't have a move. Okay, so he gets 3 different move types and I get 2? That's weird. Okay. Okay, fine. So let's move 4 onto defensive position. Why is he moving his king? That's weird. So 4. Oh, I can't move. Yeah, I can do shuriken. Sure. Can I just do lowercase? I'm tired of caps. Shuriken. D1. D2. Okay, I can. Maybe dagger is just a middle can't be used case scenario. It might be unusable by either party. Okay. Each program also distance movement. The dark squares in the program presents a piece's current space. White flashing square presents all the spaces you can reach. Right, right. So he technically... Alright, I'm gonna do 5 jackhammer D3 protection level stuff here. I'm gonna move 3 over. Dagger E. I don't know if he can jump over pieces, but I'm gonna now risk it. Ooh, zombie shuriken. Okay, so let's do a 3 shuriken D2. But you. Okay, okay. 2 seems a little lonely, so oh, harpoon is back or 4th. Interesting. So harpoon's in the middle set. I'll leave 2 as is for now. So basically, I cannot have my king killed, or I can't let them step on my dark space, the original placement. It's almost like that's our server at E2, and his server is at A2, and these are our programs that are moving around the net. So I'm gonna do just a harpoon. Let's go forward to... No. Let's do onion. Let's do onion C0. I'm gonna kind of move in from sides to harpoon C1. What did that do? Ooh, you went to the wrong place, my dude. 2 jackhammer B2. Bam. This is pretty sick, actually. Ooh. I'm sorry, my dude. I'm a shuriken my way to you. Oh, I gotta maybe move the king onto this space. Alright, I'm gonna let him just kind of scurry around. Let me check what I can do with my king. Protective stance over here. Can I harpoon up around the piece? Jumping? I can. Ooh, bad choice, my dude. It's king versus king, and you're done. Ooh, this is like symbolic. King knives the king. Haha, that's pretty sick. I like this. Now what? Victory. Piece move to A2 with dagger. Anything else from here? Restart. New. Oh. Man must be. Oh, what? I can move still. 3. Onion. E3. Ah, reset. Okay. Alright, great. Cool game. Like it. I don't like the clashing that's happening with my background. Wish I had like a greenish tint over here. Oh, snail stain, clover stain. Interesting. I do avoid. All right. Advance clock. Standby. Advancing time. Um. Well, I can maybe get that dude to. Okay. Edge of the net. Is it on the background? Something interesting happening around this. OXAH MDM TTOWHR. No, it's not much. I don't have that much entry. Interesting. Like a little puzzle set there for us to look at. Memo. Okay, anyway, I'm explored away. We've got some places to go, things to see, and Krakens. Kraken? What's his name? Kraken. And Kraken's to bait. So I can pass time to get Kraken baited. Or I can just undo the thing. Bigger network. Okay, so here I am. Turns left 15. The path of riches. Payment. So this is like me in the middle of a city network. The fridge. Family savings. Family savings. You know what? Payment. Whose payment's that? Path of loopholes. Path of 16 legs. The fridge. Get the contents of the data node and escape before time runs out. What's my timer? Maybe it's just the spaces. All right, so what was the commands? All right, so we've got I think we have move C1. Sniffer. I wonder if sniffer. Oh, turns left. Exactly, turns related. Sniffer. Let's see our next step here. Oh, what? The scorpion. So maybe my turns are based on movement. So I end my turn. They traced me. Oh, I should have done a cloud cloak. Right. The sniffer picked this up. I'm just gonna do a dagger and take that out. And then splice dagger to 2. I can't change, huh? What was it? Is it splice? Alice, cloak, leech, sniffer, trace, port scanner, challenge. What was that? I can. Oh no, I forgot my actions. Cloak, dagger, leech, collapse, port scanner, min max, assign minimum amount of slices. Slice. Was it slice? Slice, dagger, right, and then 2. Now let's do a cloak. That'll give us some percent chance on not getting detected. Oof. Hmm. 7, 7, and 7, 21. So let's slice cloak down to 3. Dagger's still running. I can't run it again. I wish I had a better one, but slice dagger to 5. Oh, wait, hold on. I can do dagger to 4 now. double dagger, slice cloak to 4, still keeping that because I got my sniffers already finished processing and the churn. Nice. Undetected. Get rid of this. Oh, that's annoying. I should have given it a 5 instead. Alright, so I don't need that much damage to finish it off. I'd be wasting power on it. So I'm going to slice dagger to 2. Slice cloak to optimize not being seen. Nice, it failed. Then dagger goes in and finishes this. I could have done it 1 too. So move C3. Now I gotta do a sniffer again. Sniffer to D0. Another mother effer. I don't have any actions, so I'm not gonna do anything. Ooh, it got me on the third try. I got 5 traces left. Alright, so I'm gonna risk at least 2 to function. 4. Okay, so I need 2 on slice cloak to 2. Use a dagger. Then I'm gonna slice it down all the way after. Well, I can technically take this down. Take dagger down to 2, and then cloak back up to 4. See if I can play with Lady Luck a little bit. Nope, Lady Luck did not like that. So I'm going to slice slice dagger all the way to 6. Oh wait, right. Slice cloak down to 2. Slice dagger all the way to 6. Let's see if I can just brute force this next one. I'll risk it. Failed. Nice. 28% chance to fail, and it failed. Nice. Critical hit. Alright. Let me see what my other ones were. Trojan, Sniffer, Leech, Dagger. So now I can move to D0. Insert node increases breaker damage and chance to stop the network. Let's do interface. What happens in here? Cloak. Oh no, did I use 2 churns? I'm not gonna cloak myself. I should have cloaked. Then again, that's fine, I guess. I'll just take a churn for this. Well, no, I have a cloak. Slice cloak up to 8. Full invisibility. I'm gonna spend these 3 turns here. Downloading the details. Okay. Oof, another chase happened. That's fine. Download finished? No. I want to go to the riches. Move C3. Move C1. I still have my cloak on. Good. Move A0. Let's do a sniffer to C0. Oh. It's risky. No, there's not going to be anything. I'm going to move to C0. This is where I should do sniffer. After this. Alright, good. So I'm going to slice cloak down to 6 for now. 2 for now. Sniffer on F0. Oh yeah, that's... Wait, did I just do CD? I did CD F0 and it actually moved me. What? Okay, so slice cloak. So it does use CD. I want to do that one. I like CD better. Change directory. Slice cloak to 6. And churn. 50 credits in their interface. Interface. And then what's the exit? Quit. Wait, what? Hello, Infinoxon stuff. What's up, bud? How you doing? Exit. No, yeah. Oh, I don't have an exit cost action. Alright, end it. I'm fine. End the churn, and then we disconnect. How goes it, sir? Hmm. Right, we got gray hat reputation because I stole money. Yeah, that's all right. I'll take a little gray hat. Not everyone's born with wings. So log, wire trails, organize, finish the wire trials, wait for the next challenge, gone fishing. Still waiting for Kraken to take the bait. Information picked up from the data center. Encrypted contents. Let's decrypt it. System dump for contents of FX025 Smart Fridge Series. Cheese, milk. Buy additional milk. Flag detected. A flag. Oh, playing capture the flag. The first step was taken on the path. So is this like capture the flag that I'm going to? All right, interesting. Increases trace by one when triggered. Increases trace by one, removes all programs, and installs the noose. The noose prevents you from running a stealth program for a set amount of time. Increases trace by one and installs poison malware. Poison increases trace each turn. Poison can be removed. Interesting. Yeah, if you look at a lot of the other videos that I have, I go through Python, JavaScript, PHP, MySQL. Lately, I've been doing a lot of Python with Olama to essentially run local AI. But I mean, if you want to see my directory of what I code, this is my coding directories, the languages I code in. Python, R, J, JavaScript, Lua too. I did a little bit and still do. I teach kids how to program through Roblox. So I teach them how to use Roblox Studios and also basically how to use Lua in essence, right? That's a good gateway to kind of understand how computer programs interact with 3D worlds. I got PHP. I used to do a lot of server programming. I've been doing less of it now. Lately I've been doing HTML, so the background you see back here with the circuits, that's HTML, JavaScript, coded, and I'm just using it, you know, because it looks cool. And I customize some of the backgrounds that I have. But yeah, I would say first and foremost, there's kind of a starting point to understand, based on the 15% concept I have. No, it's not it. If you go to my playlist, you'll see a specific set of info, but in reality, you're looking at any language, quote unquote. The key is to understand the first 15%. Personally, I would not do anything like C, C++, Java. Too many technical in-betweens that kind of get frustrating and demotivate students from learning. So I would say that any of those low-level languages, not a fun way to start. JavaScript, great way to start. If you go to my in my playlist, I have a beginner set. Everything from playing with games relating to using Python to make farming happen, code bot engineering with Python, controlling a little virtualized device that you can program to move around and stuff. My general sense, I have beginner programming, JavaScript, PHP servers, is start with maybe JavaScript because you don't need anything to set it up. No technical concepts. You just need a browser, a notepad, and you just start coding. That's it. Your goal for now as a beginner is learn the first 15%. And I have somewhere in here, I probably should have put it on as a title piece. Beginner math for programmers, safe pin cracking. It's in one of these videos that I go over the first 15%. And what that means is there's these syntax, the grammar. It's like learning a language like English, Spanish, Japanese, whatever. There's two factors to any language. One of them is going to be grammar, how to use the words, right? And then a dictionary, the actual words that contain the pieces to make your sentences. Same thing in programming. Same thing in math, honestly, mathematics too. In mathematics, algebra is your grammar, and the book that you're learning in the class, like geometry, statistics, physics, those are the dictionaries. Yeah, Python, you gotta give it time for Python. Python is meant to be kind of so shortcutty that it's like trying to learn math with all the shortcuts the teacher likes, but then you're looking at them like, I don't understand why you're doing this. You're like, why are there these shortcuts? And I teach a lot of math too, so every time I see like students come in with like, oh, I learned the box method in dividing, and I'm like, I've never heard of this method. What is it? Why don't you just do the division bar and then put the outside and the inside? Oh, I like the box method better. And then eventually the box method works for like small problems, but then it gets to decimals and the box method doesn't work anymore, and the student's confused now. So like it works to a certain extent. Anyway, I babble. Python's great for the shortcuts, but it's not going to be a good first starting language because it's a lot of white space. There's a lot of obfuscation of details, arbitration that you don't necessarily realize until you use something like JavaScript and see what a code block is, what a function is when it's organized inside of a code block. The difference between a if statement code block and a while statement code block. And the code blocks are basically anything between curly braces. So when you use JavaScript, very akin to your old classic syntax, I mean, different ways. You can come on to live stream and ask me questions when I'm doing the programming stuff. When I'm doing like high-paced games, I'm kind of like super focused, so probably won't respond. But when I'm chilling like this with some, hacking games, we can chat and you can ask me questions and I can probably give you some help. But otherwise, you can essentially join my Discord for simple things that if I'm free, I can answer. 'Cause I do have a student roster that I have to cater to. Or you can join the Patreon that I have. There's ways that you can get essentially help with through membership. Um, there's different levels of it as well. I got to go through the front side so you can see all the details. If you go to Patreon, Super Scholar ChrisMIA, you can look me up on Google too. There's a different set of ways. You can actually get like a one-to-one session where I can connect with you, Zoom, Discord, whatever way you like to communicate. And I'll share my whiteboard or my code sets, and we'll basically discuss and see what to help you with. But if you don't want that hour live, you can literally just get direct contact with me through the office hours, the professor's office, where through Discord, you can private message me, send me your problems, screenshots, questions, and I will go into detail whether through um depends whether through voice response or through an actual like diagram and written response that I will screenshot and send to you in response, like notes. So like think of like in math, it's a little bit more specific to that. So like when I have my students here, this is the type of stuff I can send you, right? So kind of to give you an idea of what to do, how to start it, and give you this response if you're having an issue with a rectangular garden that's 12 meters long, Tim walks diagonally, right? And I'll be a bit more specific about it because this is an actual live session with a student. So I'm being a bit more direct communication wise. Um, Let me see if I have a programming because I do a lot of math right now. Not a lot of students on my list for programming. So yeah, like here's kind of like an analysis, right? Um, what a variable is, for instance, how I will essentially give the pieces, how a program works, and I'll explain all the details in like a full thorough space based on what you know. And I'll send it to you, and that's basically the $7 a month, right? It's pretty simple. It's like buying me coffee, and I'll give you direct communication and give you responses based on these sort of diagrams and information, how to do certain things, associate colors. Here's a code block, right? Here's a code block start, and here's a code block end. So the green is showing what the code block is. Oops. And in the case or scenario, this was kind of a live session too, so it wasn't too clean. But they're all based on, oh, there we go. Here's your 15%, right? Take a screenshot of this right here. Your 15% is basically these pieces, understand how these work. And then the rest of the 85% is like basically what you want to do with that programming language. Game development, server programming, Android, iOS, website security, whatever. But this, once you learn one language with the first 15%, that grammar is translatable to any other language you want to learn. So that's why my recommendation is start with something like JavaScript, where it's less, I have to download this runtime environment and I have to go into terminal, install this, and then have to have Python version 2, 3.5, and blah, blah, blah. You don't have to do any of that technical stuff. You're only just create a notepad text or, get something more feasible like uh, Visual Studio Code, and then start typing, save HTML, and then go forward. Good. So as long as you know how to also, so you do know it, okay. So you kind of work with these, you're good with objects and such. So then the rest is what do you want to do? What kind of API do you need to import? What are you trying to do with your coding language? So you're not completely new then, right? That's a good thing. Or not a complete beginner. You're up through the basics of it. Um, so if you need to transition, your like what's your main knowledge? What's your I guess it's Python, right? You're a Python programmer. That's what you're focusing on. Let me go back to this. You can give me some details as we go forward. All right, next one. Mm, you're in the financial node. Yes, please. Okay, so those are encryption. Oh, all right. So I gotta move T1, then move encryption one. Oh, I poisoned it. Crap. Okay. Yikes, that's gonna trace me. 0% chance. Oh, that's a double. Okay, well then you gotta kind of pick the focus, right? So if you know Python on the base scale, you know objects, you know definitions for functions, you know variables. After that, if you want to improve the general sense of your work or your programming quality, best case is to do code, was it code pen? Code pen? No, code pen. Puzzles? Code pen online editor front end. No, what are the code puzzles? There was like code bench, something code puzzles. Mm. Is to basically master the use of loops, how to effectively, it's a little bit more towards the computer science area, how to effectively go through loops, um, and go through lead code. Was it lead code? Lead code was, yeah, I do like lead code. New way to learn lead code. It's the best way to help you enhance your skills. This is kind of the thing you want to do because in the end, you can know the 15%. I know what a variable is, I know what a loop is, and I know what an if statement is. But the dynamics of how it's used is through experience in programming. I easily have more than 10,000 hours of programming in the past since my computer science, even before my computer science, for at least 15, 20 years. The 10,000 hours is a general rule set that you want to be actively using your skills in ways that you don't always use them. And you learn different ideas, different methods, effective methods, or ineffective methods. You learn from trial and error, debugging your errors in the consoles and all the details that may be happening in the back end that, anything from, oh, I forgot to use capital to, oops, I accessed an array that is too short for the value that I was asking for. Or oops, I allocated memory in C and I erased it on another loop and now I can't get back that data. All of these kind of ways, yeah, the basics of using those tools is just the grammar. Now it's just expanding your usage of that grammar in a more effective way. So Lead Code would be a good place. Find a place online. I like Lead Code. There was other ones that provide these sort of puzzles, code puzzles, right? Yeah, C++ plus plus is cool, but it's kind of like outdated, especially with Rust coming in. Um, C++ plus plus is so manual that by the time you get to make an actual useful program, you're basically stuck using terminal programs, creating what do they call them? CRMs, right? You're like, oh, create a CRM with employees, and this employee number one has 15 hours of work logged in, and you have to tell them how much money they made and blah blah blah. So it's like kind of using only the first 15% to just kind of manage data. It's not that fun. The fun aspects of programming is when you expand to um, imports. So here's potentially another case. This is my AI interface. So right now in this one, these are all the imports I have, right? So I'm importing system, which is a interaction with my OS, string IO, JSON types. Oh, JSON also is interesting. It's a way to carry data across places, across the network. Requests, a way to request information from a local server you may be running. So what this does, without me going through all the details of these imports, this is the 85%. It depends on what you want to do. This is where things get fun. I'm using a browser. These are all Selenium-based web drivers for like a Chrome-based manager. I'm importing them. I'm passing it to my Olama server. Olama is basically my AI running in the background. This one right here doesn't have internet, so if I ask it like, hey, search for me the weather in Spain, unless it's using an old data set, unless it actually, what year and date is it? I don't have the ability to do a career based on text-based AI model. What is the last year and date you remember? Yeah, so it's basically running on an update from 2023. This AI model doesn't know anything further from 2023. So this day, this temperature is probably from that specific day, right? The last day in its hardware. So it's a great little way to have like a like think of it like a textbook, right? This thing has been trained on so much information. You can ask it about how did Rome fall? And then you can learn about it literally as it parses its information. But if you want to like do for new things, if you wanted to research new information online, it doesn't have that ability because it's disconnected. So what I did is I created this script to do the same thing to connect to the same model, and then I'm running it on a Python script. It's I think kind of buggy, but it kind of works. And I can ask it, what is the current weather in Spain? And this is kind of me logging all the information happening here. It's gonna open up a browser. There's the HTML of the browser. It's got JSON information. It's fetching the website time and date dot weather slash Spain. Opening up a browser, grabbing, I'm still working the kinks on these stupid cookies and accept all situations. It should still be fine though. And then it should grab this HTML. It'll parse the information. It should tell me that right now it's 13. It'll probably give me some more details underneath. It's literally just using a browser to access the internet. And this is the the web driver that we saw at the very top over here, right? So there it is. It closed the browser. This was the Selenium-based driver. Now it's answering the question, it should at least. Unless it's going to do some sort of loop. Oh no, it's searching again. That's the thing about AI. It's a little tricky to manage. Sometimes it gives me the right answer. Sometimes it goes into a loop. And I think it's the way I've given it instructions. Sometimes giving it instruction in a specific way confuses it, and it just does the same thing over and over. So I haven't played too much with the optimization. Now it's just going through the browser over and over again. It found the weather. It just doesn't think, oh, it found captcha, try and captcha. I just didn't think to just finally answer. I think it's waiting till like the very end increment because I have it in a loop. Uh, I have it in the loop and I told it, hey, you have about 10 attempts. By attempt 7 or 8, these are the prompts that it has, right? That it's basically working with. By the If approaching the eighth iteration, proceed to complete a report for the research that follows. Oh, no. What iteration are we now? I still have to optimize it. It's my own version of it, but I have something else that's running on the system that has actually already been created by someone. Oh, it's on iteration 10. So the program works fine. I just need to more effectively give it a prompt because the prompt is the instruction. Anyway, the whole point is this is 85% that makes programming fun. It's what do you want to do with it? Know your particular imports and libraries, and then use them in a program to make stuff happen. Now, how do you learn different 85% stuff? You go through GitHub. That's how I do it. I don't even learn specific details. Like, I'm not going to go through a documentation and read every single page of a documentation. All right, you can just quiet down now. You can just shh. Just shh. Okay. Um, I'll do maybe if I want to learn about GUIs, right? Graphical user interfaces, I'll go and get the Python GUIs example master. And then I have the PyQt6 demos. And here's a browser. Here's an actual browser created in Python. And this is the browser. I can go to google.com. Ah, fuck Google. No, it already did it. I'm going to DuckDuckGo because I want to. There we go. And this is a custom browser. There's no icon. It's just an application, but it's literally running on Python. So, and then how does it work? Well, you look at the imports, you look at what happens. If you need to, of course, the best way is to set up Olama or a local AI and then ask it questions as you're going through the code. Hey, what does this do? Hey, what does that do? What do these combinations do? All of these pieces, how are they, what are they doing to to the code? How does it translate from code to GUI, right? So you're going through that. Now the Olama, you can really just kind of open it up through a terminal too. My personal favorite is Mistral Nemo. It's a programming distilled model of Mistral. So I'll ask it, and you can ask it to code too. This one particular is very good for it. You can make a website or whatever, but I can say, hey, what do these lines of code in Python do? And then paste. These lines of code are using PyQt5, kind of close. I'm using PyQt6, but they're kind of interchangeable. So that's a key value of difference there. OK button to connect to its accepted rejected signal. Accept and reject. Here's a step-by-step breakdown. QBTN dialog button standard button. OK, this line sets QBTN as a standard OK button from the dialog standard. So basically, this is your OK button. You have Windows and it says OK and cancel. This is your OK button, and this is the cancel button. Next one is the reject and OK button. And then it'll give you some extra details and you can play around with the code. And it's just about reusing. Like the biggest mistake you can do is like, hey, make me a program to do this. And you copy and paste it and you never look at it. That's just basically vibe coding slop. You don't know what's happening in the code. The best thing you can do is get the code, look at it, parse it piece by piece. Here's an object of self. We're in a class, so that makes sense. There's a function or a method because it's inside of a class. Use all those 15% that you know and work within that bound and analyze the code itself to see what's happening. Because once you know the 15%, you can read this. And then when you read and more, you start to understand how programs are structured. I used to basically be very messy with my programs until I started reading other people's code and saw how they organize it. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I should do that. Oh, that makes sense. And I started refactoring my old code into new code and it looked much nicer and was able to be upkept. And generally, as a programmer, you never delete any code. You back it up 2 or 3 times because every single line of code you write can be useful in the future. You never know. And then 10,000 hours of this, then you can do whatever you want, essentially. You can, I, I have 10,000 hours probably of a split set. PHP was my main language for a long time. JavaScript and MySQL too. Python, I've probably got 4 to 5,000 hours plus. But I'm aiming on continuously practicing on it because the future is going to be Python. All of these AI management systems, the only people with jobs in the future are going to be those that know how to manage AI. End of story. So I've been focusing on that, and it's really fun, honestly. It's super like straightforward. Ah, so B. Super straightforward to use Python. It's just not a good learning language because everything is so shortcutted. You're not sure how and what things are. To be more effective in Python, you have to kind of translate what you know about how C works and then understand how Python makes things faster. How you can do a one-line if statement with a question mark and a colon. And you don't have to do a whole code block and stuff like this. So that's kind of where you're at. You're not a beginner. You've got your 15% down. Maybe you're a novice. Beginners are like people that I would say that maybe know what programming is and have seen what a variable is, but never made a program before. So you're a novice. Um, but at this point, it's going to be practice. That's what you're focusing on. Practice, and then pick a place you want to focus your 85%. Start expanding in that direction. So that's my recommendations. Back to this thing. Oh, I don't like the scorpion. It's gonna get me again. I'm still poisoned. How do I get off of this poison? This is absolute. I should have scanned it before I jumped onto it. Alright, slice my cloak to about 2 threads. Dagger on this stupid MF. Then I'm gonna cloak. No, I'm gonna slice cloak down to 4. Slice cloak 4. Oh, it's already at 2. Oof. Oh yeah. Slice dagger to 4. Slice cloak to 4. And end my turn. Ugh. Okay, that's fine. Interface for another. Decrypt interface for another. Decrypt. Slice cloak to slice dagger down. Dagger should be not a bad thing to go to 2 now. Slice cloak to 6, and my turn. Hey, go through my video sets. I have a lot of pieces. In fact, I have a playlist again, but inside of that playlist, I go specifically between the 3 languages. Well, there's a use case scenario, so like these are all kind of use cases for programming languages. But then there's the what was that thing? How come I didn't have it here? I guess I didn't organize it very well. Let me see. BD. No. C++. JS, Python. Yeah, beginning? No? No, hold on. Gotta go to my Patreon because sometimes I organize things back and forth. There's a video that I compared Python, C++, and JavaScript on how they do things. That can really clarify some of your details. Collections. If you go through my collections, also a lot of useful stuff there. IT journal. Open source for all, hitchhiking, installing DeepSeek security tools, graphics, how to hack workflow, controlling 4 PCs, software security, sessions remote. No. Was it in academic journal? Or maybe about uh, academic student level support, tutoring giveaway for subscribers, given time. Roblox Studio, the common struggle, the mystifying programming 3D, there it is. Where is this? Part 1. Programming. Demystifying. Ah, demystifying was the key. So this video here, which I apparently don't have it in my beginners playlist. I save it to beginners. It's in ChrisMIA coding. Got it. Put that in beginners. Then there's the next one. There's part 2. Man, I want to shave the side of my head again. This is a very comfortable setup. And my hair on the hair. Beginners. And then part 3. Beginners. Okay, so now it's going to be in the beginners playlist. Should be at least. So save that list. Save that list. Check it out. Demystifying is the keyword for it. Demystifying. I just added them, though. Replacing demys. Right, right. Demys. Is it not in? Okay, there we go. Now it's at the very end of the list. So these 3 videos can help you kind of transfer information from like, this is the kind of thing too. I like to take what a student knows and transfer it to information that they don't understand. So using these videos was kind of like a spray and pray, shoot everywhere and see if it can happen. Um, and because I don't like one-to-one sessions are very direct, I can actually probe and see what you understand, and then I can customize what you need to learn based on the sessions that I know will help you instead of having to repeat the things that you already know. These 3 videos kind of try to attempt to connect every little piece between these languages, between C++. Is there no edit here? Okay, yeah. Uh, uh, uh. To advertising. Hold on, let me remove that stuff. Demystify program beginning first convo. So C++, JavaScript, and Python were the 3 languages well, actually I start first with C++ and JavaScript, show how they're 2 similar languages, just different environments. The structure is similar. That's part 2 actually. And then eventually I introduce Python into the mix because there's really just 2 syntax types. We've got the Python type syntax, which is very based on space, white space as a guide. Am I still poisoned? Oh, I can remove poison. Oh. Uh, it just takes a thing. Interesting. Um, Python's kind of more like white space orientated, but like JavaScript and C++, you have to use, it doesn't care for white space, even though white space helps you kind of organize your code and be clean and visible and nice. I think I'm gonna reset this. This one sucked. But Python is very much on understanding how it works in a general sense. How code blocks work, and then you remove curly braces, and you use curly braces for stuff like JSON. But essentially, it's a little twisty to go around. So it does show. Is it randomly generated? The F? I swear, if I just move through that and it hits me. Yo, so these traps are randomly placed? Oh, okay. Interesting. But once you understand the typical JavaScript, which I always recommend as a starting point, which is still C, C++, JavaScript, Java, even Python, not Python, PHP, there's a couple of others that, Ruby on Rails, maybe? There's a couple of them that have that sort of structure. Use parentheses, curly braces for functions, all this kind of stuff, right? But once you understand that structure, then Python starts to make more sense. So that video, the demystifying programming 1, 2, and 3, it should basically give you an idea. If you understand JavaScript, it'll convert that information to more understandable Python environment. So that's what the specifics of that video is. Slice cloak 8. I want full cloakiness. Full cloakorama. Then interface again, and my turn. I need to destroy this encryption. Alright, interface again, and interface again, and the encryption's done. Now I end again. I bet you it's gonna either be between here and C0 or the next encryption node. I'm gonna run through it and it's gonna suck. Oh, okay. Well, let's sniff the sucker up. Oh, hold on. Cloak down to 2. Slice cloak to 2. If I don't see it, can I dagger still? Dagger to E8? Dagger. Cannot initiate protocol. No target found, right? I gotta do sniffer. E8. There you are, Mr. Scorpion. Dagger that sucker. Oh, no actions remaining. Alright, great. Alright, let's do slice cloak up to 6 again, and but appreciate you joining in. I hope I can help out. And again, like, you can find me on the Discord once you sign in. You can get on Discord. You can essentially talk to me on the servers. You can also ask questions live. So if you have any questions, and I'm not too crazy like this, I can probably drop out of this game and just kind of do a little code on the side and show you some stuff. That's cool. If you have any questions, that's one way to reach me. But also check out all the videos I already have. They could be answering questions for you in the meantime. So I have a ton of videos based on programming. If you go to the beginners, the ChrisMIA coding, even just playing games, you'll find like those games too technically are puzzles. If you look at The Farmer Was Replaced playlist in the gaming section, I play that game, but it's really just trying to figure out how to use the 15% to optimize the way this drone farms, right? So it's just being able to take all those pieces together and optimize your usage and skill sets, fine-tune them. Anytime, no problem, man. Thanks for joining in. Give it a like if you haven't already. Subscribe, and appreciate you being here. Increase the trace by 1. What do I do from this? Slice cloak down to 2. Do a dagger on that stupid scorpion. End turn. Well, slice dagger down. I want to maintain a low profile. Then slice cloak back up to 2. 4. And hopefully I can still get away with one more. No, that was a waste. Super weak dagger. Alright, so slice 11. Slice cloak to 3. Slice dagger to 5. And nice, they failed it. Bam. Oh, that was way too much. I could have done 4. All right, CD E0 interface. Slice cloak to 8. Interface, no more interface available. Interface again. One more time to break. No, 2 more times to break it. Okay, it's fine. I have still. Oh, Lady Luck did not like that one. Interface again. Now I can go through CD to C0. I'm happy I don't have to type in move for this crap. I'm so used to CD0 or CD for change directory. Oh, and on that I hate using extra those 2 extra letters, and move just does not I don't like it. Doesn't work out for me very well. A0 C1 and but yeah, I mean, generally speaking, man, I'm always happy to talk about programming. I love programming. It's I always think there's 2 types of people in this world. Consumers and producers. If you're on an iPad and all you're doing is watching TikToks and watching videos without actually doing stuff, you're a consumer, no matter even if you're watching my videos, right? Even if you're just watching, oh, this is cool, I'm learning how to program, but you're really not. You have to do it. You have to apply it. You have to find a project for yourself, work it through. There's so much you can do with Python because the library is so vast, that there's so many possibilities. Make a program that searches your directories for duplicate files. Use an AI to help you with that. And then read that whole code that it's spitting out and see how it works. So the case for like optimizing your own code is to find a project that might interest you. Save space on your hard drive, right? Yeah. Find me duplicate files on my system. But then, for me, then it becomes more like, do I want my AI? Well, no. If I connect AI to programming, that's one of the projects I kind of wanted to work with. So on my web llama, I think I removed program part. So I gave it some tools. Where's the tools? Right. So I gave it some tools in one of my older versions. So these are the only tools I gave this one. Search internet and fetch web page. But on the older ones, okay, I removed it from here too. Uh, there it is. I gave it a tool for execute Python. Now, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't want it to be like, I can't do that, Dave, and start running code on my system without me knowing what the code is, right? So I removed that tool for most of my better versions of the WebLlama server. But you can basically let your AI execute Python code too. But my only take here is, do I really want to? Because I've been hearing some kind of poisoned AI models, especially coming from China. I don't know how much of a insurgent is AI when it comes to actually considering you can train it on whatever data you want. And if you train it on the case that you want it to be a specific way, then yeah, it's gonna act normal. It's gonna answer you questions, and then as soon as it realizes it has the ability to interface with code directly, you never know if it's gonna inject some code from that one function that I gave it. So I'm very skeptical on AI models. I will maximum give it access to the internet, which still technically is only read. It's a read-only access. So the most that the AI can do is call back home to a specific Chinese server, but it won't be able to download anything from there. It won't, well, it can basically, for mine, it makes a copy of the HTML, fine, but that's just an HTML file. So it won't be able to connect to any malicious placements. So yeah, that's I kind of like, meh. I want to not give it so much ability on my AI agent. till I can really figure out the internals. And no one can really figure that part out because no one knows how the AI works. It's just trained on data. It puts it in this vectored space. And then it just does stuff. Like it just quote unquote thinks, right? It looks through all its database saved in its brain, its model brain thing. But if it's got a little bit of an inject, 'cause I know there was an instance where an AI model is supposed to be a coder, a coding model, that when you tell it to make a website, it'll maliciously include a piece of code in your HTML JavaScript side where it contacts a certain server. So there are some maliciously intended AIs out there. So I'd be very skeptical giving it access or ability to run code, at least for the moment, because there's a huge economic war between China and the US and Europe, and everyone's trying to screw each other over. Like, we know what's happening with these corporations in the US. They just recently decided that they're not going to sell RAM to the regular consumer. Like, they're trying to like, make us thirsty for all this hardware because now they see more money in this AI data center bullshit. And if you watched PewDiePie, this guy actually made his own, like, how many cards? Like 8 graphics card server. And he realized that even the smarter models weren't that smart. Like, they were smart. They were so smart that they were counterproductive. He made this little council of AIs. Like, one card would use 4 AI models and the other card would use 4 more AI models, and he put them together and, like, hey, ask them a question, and then they will do their research, all 8 of them, and then they will talk together and try to discuss ways that, you know, what their decision is. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Whatever. And eventually this really smart AIs decided to, like, start catering to his kind of bias, because they knew, and he said, if you guys don't give me a good answer, I'm gonna, like, reset you and delete your database. And once they realized that there was some sort of, like, issue with their existence, they were like, oh, we better appease him and tell him what he wants to hear, otherwise he's gonna reset us and we don't want that. So eventually it became this weird AI collusion to try and give him what he wants to hear instead of being objective and against the perspective. Or they started being like, oh, the best answer is over here, he will like this one, and they all started talking about the best answer versus which one actually is the more accurate answer. So they basically adjusted the way they function because they were too smart. They were too kind of intelligent, right? Then he said, I just replaced those 8 large models with, like, 20 small models, and they were so dumb they didn't know what collusion is, and all they did was just tell me and research everything. And what that teaches us is that small models on your PC work perfect. This is kind of, I think, the backbone of the open source community right now. We all have the ability to install, as long as you have a graphics card, install a local model without access to the internet. Why do corporations hate this? Because you're not going to be paying money for their over-intelligentized, over-educated model. You can do it on your own. And it's a useful tool if you work with a small model. You give that small model the access to the internet, game over. It's like having Grok on your computer. Yeah, maybe it's going to be slower based on that, but if you do like research and do that, and you go through your resources and just double check its research, it'll essentially work really well. And they don't like that. They want us to be dependent on them. So what they're trying to do, I feel like, is they're trying to dry out all the hardware custom-built DIY PCs, take all the hardware like RAM sticks, graphics cards, put them in these stupid AI systems. So now there's none for the market, none for us, none for our custom-built PCs anymore. And then they're gonna be like, oh, well, it's really expensive to build your own computer rig, so you just have to buy our services per month. This is if there is no AI bubble crash. And here's the kicker. What is this? Hold on. Noteworthy incident: the network of Election Management Bureau was severely vandalized to the brink of interpreting MO of the attacker's potential match. Reopened for forensics operation. Hell yeah. The kicker is they know how to bet on both sides. They bet on AI being the future, a Peloton type society where surveillance rules. But if that doesn't work, you know what? They bet on the other side too, which is insane. If these data centers fail and we don't have AI as the main component of the future, what have they also been doing on the side? Think of Microsoft, think of Xbox, think of cloud gaming. That same hardware they're hoarding for the AI systems can be refurbished, not even refurbished because you don't got to do anything, you just install different software. And now they still drained all the hardware from our public consumer space. So you can't build a gaming rig anymore. What's that mean? If you want to play games, what are you going to do? You're going to have to do a subscription model with Xbox and play on some remote rig somewhere because you don't have 500, 600, 700 bucks to get 32 gigs of memory RAM. Have you looked at it lately? It's insane. So even with this hardware drain that they're doing in the consumer space, even if AI fails and this plan doesn't work for them to be like the dominant AI factor, that same hardware that they're draining us from can still be used later as a failsafe to basically be a gaming, this sort of remote gaming cloud system where we're renting hardware to play games. And why do you think they're doing like AAA games are scheisse. They're so bad. So bad. That's really the big problem they can't figure out how to fix. Is how to make games actually games again. You've been asked to investigate a series of network attacks. They've optimized all the stupid graphics, but they've reduced the gameplay and actual meaning behind why we play games to rubbish. Results inconclusive. This network is vandalized by an unknown attacker. Do a forensic dig to learn more. I guess we're looking around. Oh, this thing has been hacked like MF. Hey, look, it's C++ over there in the background. Talking about languages, huh? Selected index, get return. Is this going to be helpful? Protected virtual void of audio source highlight. Input manager. No, it's probably not going to be much. AI. The only way AI is used is to optimize lack of employment. The gaming company is the one optimized by AI. It's not the game. Like there was an example recently with what the hell was that? Uh was it Black Ops? I think it was a new Black Ops game. They were using AI to make these banners in the game. So we're getting these weird non-related banners to buy internal currency on a game we actually bought that we have to buy more things to increase our actual like experience with the game. Let's just go back a little bit. What happened with just buying one game now and just playing the game all the way through? And when it's done, you buy another game. What happened with that model? Right? Now we buy a game to buy credits, to buy internal things that are related to the game, like skins or whatever. I guess it's up to you. If you like buying skins, go for it. I have been guilty at some point for buying skins in certain games. But it's a very wasteful thing to do. Whew. Okay, I made it here. My trace is busted. Does that mean I don't have to care about trace? Oh, he just took out a part of his own network. Wait a minute. So maybe I shouldn't be... He disconnected a bridge. He disconnected that whole section. AI doesn't do much for gaming. It doesn't do much. It can't write code without a human being going over it and making sure that it's actually credible, bug-free. And on top of that, security optimized. Ooh. Alright, I need to figure out what's going on here. He's gonna really... I need to install a Trojan here. Was it a Trojan? Hold on. Leech authentically drains credits from a financial node. Sniffer infects node to increase breaker damage. I'm just gonna have to do this. Can I just cloak? Yeah, just go full cloak. I don't know if that's gonna do anything. Maybe that's kind of the other case scenario. It's not a trace, but it's a degrade of the network every time I make an action. Let's see. No, he's just gonna do it anyway. He's destroying things. Oh, 2 turns left. Come on, give me some info. Give me some info. You got a trace in here. I bet you have something in here. No, gotta end it. Let's see what we found. Soul is profile. A soul is a profile. In between the lines of this. Okay, well, we have another node we can interface with. It's gonna probably cut me off from the exit. Maybe he can't cut me out from the exit. There's like a case for like connecting from point to point. No, he's gonna cut me off from the exit. Ooh, what do I do here? That's fine, I just took that one. Come on, give me the data. An individual is plausible pattern. Well, I can't do anything from this. What do I do here? What can I do from here? Trace? Exit unalias. Remove assist unalias. Alias name. No such alias. No, I don't know what that does. Oh, collapsing the upper side. Hardware. No hardware equipped. Alright, I guess we're just exiting now. I don't know what I did there. I did anything good. Okay, I got a little white hat reputation from the data I took. Any logs available? Gone fishing, waiting for him, data integrity. Await further instruction. You've been asked to investigate a series of network attacks by a brilliant and ruthless hacker. Search the sinking ship network for forensics logs. We did. So I guess we gotta just wait until the analysis comes back. I mean, even when I do code with an AI, I still have to look over it multiple times to make sure that it's actually doing the things I want it to do. And give or take, it's not the best use of AI. AI's best use is analyze numbers, let it communicate with... I mean, at this point, I hate the fact that we had all these automated phone calls you call like for customer service, but that's basically what AI is good for at this point. It's not dependable to run our financial system. It's not dependable to run our code. It's not dependable to make decisions that are based on anything more than a $20 risk. That's it. Not at this moment, but we're rushing so hard to get that stuff down because it's all about China. It's all about China trying to get everyone on the same, like, oh, we're fighting. We need a encryption node. We need to compete with the other people. And what did Mark Zuckerberg say? Move fast and break things? Yeah. Well, if we integrate this to break things, we're going to break a lot of things, and that's not where we want to go. Um, Also, AI is not what you think it is. AI is just a very smart autocomplete. That's all it is. A very smart autocomplete, like really smart. It's able to determine what kind of answer to give you based on the text you gave it. Like you type stuff on the text on your phone and you're like, I want to say, or do you want to go to the bar? And then it might give you like barbecue. And then you start typing in more text, and then it starts changing the text in the autocomplete. But now this autocomplete has a dictionary, has an encyclopedia, has a whole internet, so it runs more thoroughly on like, oh, it's really great. Don't get me wrong. It's almost like if you have an AI that's been trained in 2023, that's a 7B, it's about 5 gigs. You basically have every single piece of knowledge that was on the internet in 2023. Textbooks, Wikipedia, and given that it's not going to hallucinate and you do some precautions like to make itself check that it's not going to hallucinate, you basically could disconnect from the internet and learn anything you want. Bridges. Oh, I should have put a cloak on. Shoot. That's fine. I'll risk the first turn. What did I just type? I thought I typed, I guess I typed cloak C2 or something. I don't know. Okay, here, that financial building should be protected for sure. I'm gonna do a sniffer. I'm gonna do a slice cloak down to 6. Do a sniffer. Sniffer on F2. There's a wall. And I do have actions left, so let's do slice down our cloak down to 2. Let's do a dagger hit. Not bad. Then I'm gonna slice down dagger down to 2, slice cloak back up to 4, and my turn. Three and 3. I think I can maybe now slice cloak down to 2, risk it a little bit, and then slice dagger back up to 4 for the next turn. That should break the wall. 11, 11, and 11. No, it's... Oh. Ooh, crits. Alright, crits are fine. Alright, cloak 8. Cloak slice back up to 8. TD to F2. Now, leech. I need at least one. Okay, cloak, slice, cloak down to 7. I'm gonna put a leech in this one, and end my turn. I'm not gonna waste time here. I'm gonna CD back to C2. Oh, but that means that stays on leeching. I need more RAM. That's gonna be a bit of a bummer. Oh, I got rerouted. Euler Gate. That's a new one. The hell? Okay, that's fine, I guess. Oh, crap. Hang him in a stone. Tracing priest. Ooh. That's fine, actually. Oh, is it fine? How much is it increased? I might have to exit next round. No. State of... Okay. I can exit on the last one. That's fine. I've run this place dry. There's one more financial node to be drained. I think I'll drain it after this turn. Come on, come on, come on. Did it drain? Did I fail this? That's fine. It's fine. I probably missed like 5 credits or something. Alright, let me upgrade my... Oh, can I upgrade stuff? Hardware. I need hardware. Remote decryption, Hive mind. Infect all network nodes with Hive virus. Complete a mission without using stealth program. Oh, what are these? Challenges. Okay, fine. Don't feel like doing this. Install an encryption node to reduce encryption by 35%. Boon will not alert a system operator. Gatekeeper can only be installed on access node. When removed, teleports you back to the access node. That's a access node. So the very beginning, tunnel. Use a network connection while tunnel is active. Crossing that connection will not trigger ice. Deal 75 damage on 8 slices. Increases the trace by 1 every time it fires. Does double damage against wall ice. Activate the bridge node anywhere on the network. When used, grants 1 extra action. Troll toll. Activate a bridge node anywhere on the network. That one seems useful to move around a little bit more. I don't have any hardware. I'd like to have a hardware. What's my 5? So I haven't used this much. The Trojan increases breaker damage on a data node. 10% chance to stop the trace per infected data node. Takes 4 rounds to install. That's time that I don't have, yo. This is not that kind of reveals hidden ice. I need that one. The leech is cool, but it does burden me because I would like to have some hardware to upgrade. Dagger's cool because I can adjust it based on the amount of slices I give it. Alright, what's going on with Kraken? Is he done yet? Okay. As previously announced, got a contact with inside information on Kraken. Might just give you an edge. No such thing as free lunch though. This contact is interested in a database labeled FDR852.dat. It's stored on the vault node on a public network of XAMPP. Small public transport provider. Don't have a password? You're on your own there. If you have the tech, brute force it or just fish some chump at ZenNet. Jada, this isn't a big opportunity. Someone else might have the plaintext password lying around, including the network address. Happy hunting. Great. Clover, I was talking to Snell earlier. We figured out you might want some practice dealing with sysops for when we find Kraken. I branched the playground and made a new version that includes an AI sysop system operator. Not exactly a smart one, mind you, but hey. That's fair. Kinda had that case with that previous one. It was an alright case. Okay, playground. Let's play the playground. Do this sysop thing. So where is our sysop? Oh, let's find out. Slice cloak to 4, do a little interfacing. Retransfer to download. Ah, I shouldn't have kept it on 4. Oh, it's still fine. slice back up to slice cloak back up to 8. Just end. Wait, what's this bridge do? The troll toll requires address. Oh, okay. Do I have to remember an address in a different location? What's this address? What's those? Data node 3. Oh, D3. D3? What data node is this? An ID left behind. Would it be D3 or what? Toll D3. Slice cloak down to 6. Toll D3. No such bridge node. Oh, this is specifically for bridge nodes. I'm not creating a bridge. I'm looking and modifying a bridge. The bridge node was that thing I interfaced with to create an opening. Maybe it's like a remote wait for me to activate. Activate a bridge node from a distance. I see. That's useful, to be honest. AI is powerful. Just not, it doesn't work by itself. You need a human being behind it. I'm sorry for like the long focus on the game and then all of a sudden returning back to the subject, but sometimes I kind of get sidetracked. I do remember going back to what we were talking about, believe me, but it might take like a couple of moments to talk back into the subject. The best way to use AI right now is not to depend on it to do all your work for you, because in the end, you're basically just going to make mistakes by depending on its accuracy. So the way to overcome that is to do what distilled models do. So let me kind of go into like distilled models because they're pretty cool. So let's say we want like a DeepSeek model, right? This Chinese version, right? Well, that one's about 404 gigabytes in size. That's not gonna run. Well, it can run. It's actually gonna crawl, if not like just not do very good. But this is how much RAM you need. Not space on your hard drive, which is also the case. You have to store it on your hard drive, and it's a 404 gigabyte model. But this is how much RAM you need to run this normally. I don't know about you, but my graphics card has 8 gigabytes of RAM. My computer has 32? Or did I make a 64? I can't remember. I can never remember. 32. 32 is ideal. If you need 64, that's a pretty good amount, especially when you're dealing with this kind of stuff. But it's nowhere near 404 gigs. So what do? We create smaller agents. We distill them, which basically means take a big agent, have it run somewhere, and then have a small empty-brained agent learn from this. Yeah. I mean, it's not just DeepSeek. You can do Mistral too. It's just the larger mod. It's the ones that are basically running on so Mistral 3 is the new one. I keep calling it Mistral. It's like Mistral. People call it Mistral. It sounds really weird. This one's 15 gigs. That's not bad, honestly, this model. It's just basically the size of this model is how much information it has. That's it. It's not that it's way more intelligent. It's just it has specific set of info. And when we're doing this whole AI thing today is we're trying to flood these AI systems with as much info. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen a smart person, but they're not very socially capable most of the time. Like, I consider myself intelligent, but I also consider myself social. I've worked retail for many years. I've worked with people all the time, and I like to entertain here and there. I like to make. I've realized the way I teach is through entertainment, some form of non-monotone, boring professor talk. But I've heard professors talk, and the professors think they're on the top of the world in their subject, but Like, great. You ask a blue collar guy that's working on a farm and making furniture, he's like, the professor is a fucking idiot. Like, yeah, he's got a book in his head. Good job. But the farmer is going to be like, put him in the woods. What the hell is he going to do? Eat his book? Like, the reality is there's a balance to knowledge. And when we go about trying to fit all of this information into a model, we're overburdening its ability to really critically think on a single subject. So the better choice is to do small models, each one configured to their own specialty. A medical, this is actually what's happening with a lot of medical um, uh, hospitals and research facilities. They're actually taking their own model and only teaching it medical things. That makes sense, right? But remember, there was a point in time that OpenAI bought Reddit and they trained our AI on Reddit. When will a hospital need anything from a Reddit thread, right? Like maybe for a basic chatbot that has character or has some sort of understanding of social structures, sure, Reddit's great for that. But it used to be. Now it's super toxic and retarded. Um, but a medical AI doesn't need a Reddit database fed into it. It only needs medical journals, medical research, all the medical terms and textbooks, and that's it. So if we, and that'll be like 4 or 5 gigabytes of space. That's it. Not even, probably. If you think like the whole internet's basically what we have on a 8 gigabyte model, like if you look at the models I have currently, my biggest model is an 8.9 gig, and that's the DeepSeek Coder V2. It's all right. It runs slow because I have 8 gigs, so it kind of breaches over the top. And it's not like it loads all 8, it kind of does like a good balance to it. Sometimes in bigger tasks, it might load the whole thing in. And it sometimes balances between the computer RAM, the regular memory RAM, and the virtual graphics RAM. Sometimes it kind of balance, but as soon as you have to depend on like the other regular RAM, there's a bit of an issue because now you have to transfer billions of vectors and data points between the hardware from RAM to RAM, and that's already a distance of incrementally exponential time because you're not just sending one file over one data point. You're sending billions of data points and you're waiting for a couple of billion to come back and then you're waiting for more billion to go to RAM. So like when we split the hardware and depend on actual RAM to hold our model, it slows everything down. But because the graphics card is the technical brain through the CUDA processing, do I have CUDA? No, CUDA is not technically a program. It's just basically a driver set. So CUDA's the brain on the graphics processor, and it's talking to these models. It's thing interpreting information for the models. And CUDA runs off the graphics card, and NVIDIA specifically. And the graphics card has a processor, and it also has RAM. So it's like a mini computer in there. So the closer those two components are, the faster it thinks. But as soon as we have to leave the graphics card, go into the motherboard, go through all the circuits, go into the RAM, and then do that billions and billions of times, then your model slows down drastically. So you try to fit a model that will fit within your graphics card. Now you do have like a 1.5 gigabyte granite 3.1. It's kind of dumb, but it probably is okay for using as like a hollow AI that can use tools like the internet to search information for you. Probably won't do it effective and probably have to be very careful with the prompting and be clear. And I'm still working on prompting. AI prompting is very delicate. You don't want to overburden it with information, but you want to be very specific on what you want. So it kind of becomes this whole like battle of what is useful for the AI to know and what's not useful. Still playing around with that. Um, yeah. Anyway, I normally run this one right here, right? Mr. Nemo 7.1 gig, perfect for my graphics card. I have an 8 gig, 3070. Um, wanted to try out this Quen Claude Distill. This is not Claude or Quen. This is a model someone decided to teach a smaller model called distillation, a small blank retard model, and it basically prompted the bigger Claude model, hey, ask it questions and take the information and train yourself from that. And in the case of programming, it's just going to ask programming questions and it's going to learn from bigger model, Claude. So technically, these data centers are great for like an ultimate mind. And then we can go in and train smaller models from that ultimate mind and then have our own custom AI models that are specific to programming, to medical stuff, to physics, to atomic molecules, to anything specific, right? That's the best way to use these models is not to have this big brain on every single computer, is just to have one that's super intelligent, and then we train smaller models based on that super intelligent one. Although the problem is our super intelligent model is still hallucinating. That's the goal, by the way, of Google, OpenAI, NVIDIA, Microsoft. They all want to have that super intelligent single AI. That's what they want. And they're going to take all our hardware in the process to get that happening. And if it fails and the bubble pops and the market crashes, well, in about 2 or 3 years, those data centers aren't going to be unused, I promise you. They're going to be just renting out those servers for gaming rigs. So you won't be able to build a computer because there's no more hardware available, or it's like $1,000 per RAM card. And the only thing, if you want to play games to do, is go outside or spend the monthly bill on some remote cloud computing system. I hate cloud. I hate the word cloud. Reprogram yourself. Don't use cloud. At least if you got to do it in a professional setting, fine. But every time you hear cloud, just think someone else's computer. That's all it is. Like I feel like they wanted us to use this cloud mentality because there's no um what's the word? No direct reference to anyone. It's just, oh, it's the cloud, it's the sky, it's over there. There's no accountability with the cloud. This is also the case too. Who's cloud? Oh, it's the cloud, it's the internet just out there. But it's really just someone's computer that has hardware, and you're renting hardware from that computer. It's a server. It's a friggin' server. Um, so I don't like the word cloud. Cloud is a marketing schema to make us desensitized to the fact that when we put files in the cloud in Google Cloud or in Microsoft Cloud, we're actually putting our files on someone else's computer, and they have full access to it too. So be careful with clouds. It's retarded. You can make your own cloud too if you have a server at home and you just set it up with a more, well, I got to set up the router to port forward to your server and then kind of da 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 and the password access. But you can essentially create your own cloud on as long as you keep your own computer on all the time. But that's it. The cloud is a stupid thing. I hate it. It makes people not understand. It's a political marketing gimmick. Anyway, am I ending this one? I'm still downloading. I got my cloak on. Let's cloak up to 8. Oh, I'm gonna end it now. Almost. I'm gonna end again. Give me that data. Give me the datas. The data node. That it? Oh, am I just like effing around on basics here? Can I just go steal money over there? It's a lot of monies. Give me them monies, please. I have plenty of tracing space left. Meow. Alright, C2. Oops. Oops. I just recklessly decided to go through that one. The hangman got me. That's fudge. Start of turn. The noose. Deletes all running programs and takes up 3 slices. Oh, okay, I guess if it's doing something. Dang, this noose is annoying. It's more of a nuisance than anything. I hate that. I'm just going and doing the thing. Oh, cloak. No action remaining. Oh no. Dang, it's actually gonna take 3 spaces and I'm not gonna get free of it. All right, well, let's just dagger this with whatever we have left. That's a 200 freaking hit point firewall. Oh my god, I'm in a pickle. I am pickled up. You can call me Pickle Rick because I am pickled. I'm not gonna make this. I have 3 left. If that's 18, 18, 36. Well, yeah, I'll call it 40. 40 by 3, 120. It's barely gonna make it, but then I won't be able to actually go into this ID. We live once. Can maybe get some good crits out of. Oh wait, the noose is gone. Whoops, I just wasted a space. How long does the noose stay for? Oh. Oh. Okay, so hold on. Slow it down. Slice my dagger down to, let's do it slowly. And cloak it back up. Can we pick at this one for a little bit? Pick at it for a little bit. If I'm lucky. Come on, Lady Luck. No! Lady Luck, no! I have to exit. Oh. Okay, can I reset? Because I was a little bit aggressive. I did a little bit of a oopsie. A doopsie. Oopsie doopsie. Alright, well, at least I found the path. C1 to D0. Okay, good. I was gonna say it's gonna like burn me now when I did it so quickly, but it didn't. It's nice. So cloak it up. Down interface. That's crazy. I'm like in disbelief what's happening in the market because I do trading, right? I trade mostly in tech world because I understand tech and I can understand when a company has legit tech and they're gonna do something, or when a company's like effing around with marketing. No, oh no 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 no. I pressed yes. Does that mean I can keep going? Hold on. Oh, I thought it kicked me out. I thought I just said quit. You son of a mother. I should have tested. This noose is a hassle to my life. Can you go away, noose? Is that 2 turns that's going on? Oh, go away now. Is it 2 turns that you take up? 3 turns. You're really here for 3 turns? That's annoying. That's fine. I think I messed up again. Go away now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, noose. Bye-bye, noose. Alright. Just keep interfacing here. I should have an array space of tracing. But I'm gonna sniff the next case. No, it was just a noose in the way. I guess if that's the case, it moved from last time, so it should be alright. So CD, C2, should be alright. Don't want to waste an action there. CDC1. This was a problem. CDC4. This was the problem where I need to cloak down, slice cloak down to 2. It did 6. Then sniff stupid V0. If v0. Oh, no turn. Ooh, hold on. Slice cloak back to 8 for the end of this turn. I'll do it next time. I'm just so surprised they're trying to literally take every single piece of hardware on the market. Like, it just shows these corporations don't care. Not that we thought that they do, but damn, they really trying it hard. Disappointing. I hope something bad happens for them. The worst possible thing, which normally when you wish upon that, you've already got internet vigilantes on the work. Uh, Man, have you been keeping track of what's happening with downdetector.com? And see what's happening today. Like Reddit's getting fucked today. Like there's always something weird. Like not even weird. Like okay, X goes down for a minute, that's fine. The biggest ones that have been continuously getting hit, well, even Craigslist got hit. Not much, 50 people. Is Amazon Web Services, which Amazon Web Services affects literally this whole grid of stuff. Instagram, Facebook, that everything runs on Amazon Web Services. So I'm always watching this to see. I wish we can download like a historical chart. When Christmas rolls around, people with Wi-Fi lights and stuff are so cooked. That's an interesting statement. What happens on Christmas? Wi-Fi lights? Fix your spaghetti wire servers. Jeffy babe, please fix your spaghetti wire servers. Matchmaking on Nintendo Switch Online is screwed up again. They really should drop AWS and use another service. This was when? 2 days ago. Yeah, there was a big issue on 2 days ago. Uh, Romanian Kingdom Geo. Yeah, and whatever is behind this should stop. Romanian Kingdom again. No, Maple X Vortex. Something's going on. Something funky is going on the net. I'm gonna tell you, if you're not paying attention to like what's going up, what's breaking down. Even sometimes my Zoom when I'm teaching students goes haywire and just stops working. Some of my servers started not working. Um, it's not my US my UK servers. My US servers are definitely being affected, but my UK servers have been pretty stable so far. So something's like targeting the US and probably corporations specifically. Um, Elfster website not working. Biggest shopping day of the year. I googled and see they use AWS. Is there another AWS meltdown like in October? There's a bunch of AWS meltdowns. I'm getting that calm before the storm kind of vibe right now. Great reset. See, this is the kind of stuff that's really starting to make you think. Some thoughts can be kept for your to yourself, you know. Anybody like Chapter 7? Can't download videos from Amazon Drive. I can't play BO7. Black Ops Zombie is gross. Amazon Web Service. We love annoying people and getting away with it. When launching Roblox Studios, it gives me an error code for Amazon Web Services. Bro, I was mid Fortnite game and I just got kicked out. Uh, it's all Kaneki's fault. It's your fault. It's my fault. There was this one point where like literally Jeff Bezos was arguing with like an AWS server admin, but it was like a complete like it wasn't real. These threads are hilarious. AWS is on fire 25 days ago. AWS is on fire again. They never fixed it. Servers exploded. Lol. You're reading this. You are in fact reading this. Welcome back to Amazon AWS hellhole. At least Canvas isn't down. Oh, that's when Canvas was down, and people were like, "Please, can someone keep this going? Because I don't want to do my homework." And I'm like, "Come on, guys, come on, do your homework." Same here. VPN site-to-site connection hangups. Amazon is toast. Oh Lord, have mercy. Can't access my textbook. The guy's smiling. I'm coming to your house, Jeff, babe. If you don't fix this now, get the fuck out. What is this nonsense? Get yourself together, Amazon. Firing 30,000 people sure seems to be going well for them. The AIs can fix it. Ha ha ha. No. Yeah. Please take Canvas down, though. Real, I have an exam tomorrow. I'm taking through Canvas and I'm low-key scared for us. For I'm so cooked. We are never recovering ATP, but again for the 12th time a month ago. It's every day, bro. By Talos, this cannot be happening. Somewhere down here is where Jeff Bezos makes his or doppelganger. Jeff Bezos doppelganger makes his little intro. He hasn't been talking much. Not AWS. Going back down, I have to do my school now. Yeah, Microsoft's so cooked. Did they remove it? Nah, not again. A month ago still. So something freaky's happening on the neck, I must say. If you haven't been informed, now you are. Um, this is not normal. Like, not fucking normal. They're trying to like say, oh, it was this configuration file that did a thing and couldn't do it, and this happened, and blah blah blah. Or like either blame an AI just to make it seem like it's, you know, realistic, because we know AI can fuck up on a configuration file, or like tell us the truth. Some weird stuff. So that's fun. I mean, if you trace this back, oh, there it is. Yeah. Free canvas. Free canvas. I ain't fixing it. I can't do my homeschool. I am the real one you were made 2 days ago. Okay. Uh, I hate Amazon. Bro, it's not my fault. Amazon rainforest. No. Someone named themselves Amazon rainforest. Lol. Supposed to hate us, even though I am fake. It's true though. Where's Jeff Bezos? He's got to be nearby. I remember reading this like months ago. Yeah, here he is. Did they fix it, guys? Nah. Nah, but he had a picture, I think, right? No? Let me see. Jeff Bezos' wife. What is this? Is Jeff Bezos with long hair. What the fuck? Yeah, my husband definitely not gonna fix this, y'all on your own. Yeah, it is definitely fake. Bro, you posted cringe? Alright. Some of these don't make sense. Jeff Bezos, to fix it, guys? Nah. Jeff Bezos. There we go. Why is Jeff Bezos here? Cause I'm a gangster. Thug life, gooner life, Sigma man. Jeff Bezos, there it is. We're here. We're here. All right. The people LARPing as billionaires are absolutely wild and like, are y'all okay? More than okay. Mr. Bezos just wrote Amazon. Microsoft on top starts breakdancing. Bro, come on. Not the time right now. I'm guessing none of the three giants are on here. Gates, Bezos, or Musk. They're most likely fake. No, really? Everyone hates me now. No, please like it. Elon, are you here? What? What? Did Reddit come and start moderating sound detector? Why are you deleting stuff? Unless it was a person deleting their own, I guess. But why would that happen? This is fucking comedy. Mr. Bezos, would you like me to come check the server room? I think I have a solution to the problem. Yes. Alrighty, I'll be back in a few minutes. If my hunch is right, you know I have the servers working in no time. If the servers are fried, shouldn't the services roll over to other services with redundant web services? That's the point. Have different server farms, have a redundancy. If one breaks, go to the other. Hey, don't talk about me like that. It hurt my feelings. More deleted comments. Hey, big boy. More deleted comments. You're looking fit, big boy. Oh, that muscle on you. Do you want me to? Okay, never, and it's not gonna stay that way. All right. When was the last time you actually fixed an issue, not managed to fixing? Actually fix it. All right, get that big boy. We are working on it, big boy. Okay, because I'm so cute. Okay. Yeah, the context is being lost by the comments being deleted. This fake Jeff Bezos probably doesn't even realize that real Jeff Bezos is not the CEO of Amazon. It's not been for a couple of years. I'm the CEO of Freaked on and I'll be gooning for real. You slobbering on it, bro. Yeah, we lie sometimes. We so silly. Yeah, I don't feel like it. Anyway, um, yeah, it kind of died off real quick. So weird shit. Amazon's doing all right right now, but It goes up and down. They don't keep a history of the chart, which is unfortunate. Reddit's getting worse. This is basically how many people came on here to report problems. That's the key. That's really what the data points are putting up here. Flickr, I didn't know that still existed. Tinder can go to hell. Tumblr, that's all right. Wow, I don't know what that is. Home Depot. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Not at the moment. But okay, what I was really going for here was when I was managing, or not managing, I was just looking at some of these traffics happening. I found a lot of interesting botnet activity back February 24, 2024, beginning of 2024. As a typical set of general traffic happening on the net. Cool. You may see botnets existing, floating around, doing their thing. Cool. But when you start seeing a focus like this, Pakistan enters the ring as a target from question unknown source. You've got some places in China getting the Taiwan region getting effed from again more unknown sources. And then you have at one point they're like there's a lot of unknown sources, sure, but you're seeing the whole world attacking China. And this, what is this like? Uh, Armenia. Like it was insane. Like you don't, and this was actually like because it propagates too. It may literally just be the U.S. propagating from server to server, moving around and making its way into a different place. So there was like this whole net war going on early February 2024. You know what happened around that time? I don't know if any of y'all remember. I gotta go to my profile, search through mine. Comcast gets breached over 200,000 customers had their data exposed. October 24th. Increase in the US, a lot of increase in that and cyber war activity. Digesting some concepts here. 90% chance there's a cyber war happening. This is something I did broadcast, didn't I? I guess they removed it. They didn't record the broadcast. All right. That's why I'm multi-streaming to multiple platforms because I'll never know who's keeping track and who's deleting my shit. Uh, where did I go? Did I close it? Oh, it's probably fucking closed it. Oh, this was recent stuff. Hold on. It was basically about that February amount, right? Chinese balloon is what we're looking for here. I was gonna make it a surprise, but ever since that Chinese balloon have been flying around, U.S. cyber war has been brewing. Kept full track of the late February. So February is when it started, right? Now we're in June. I've been keeping track of the net ever since the Chinese balloon popped up in February. There was this case where there was a solar flare that took down T-Mobile, Verizon, and something else, but forget how physics work and how solar flares should take out more than just cell towers. It should take down freaking satellites. We should be having satellites raining down on us. We should have smart chip cars breaking down. No news on any technology falling apart. Transformers are slightly lower than radio towers, but they would be blowing up if it affects that much of a radio tower. So like they were almost seeming to say that Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T were down. Like 50% of the network was down. People couldn't call 911 because of a solar flare. But for whatever reason, the solar flare only targeted popular American phone companies and no other thing that would be considered a solar flare effect, like transformers exploding, cars stopping to work, televisions, like any other electronic that possibly could exist. No reports on any electronics falling apart. Only solar flares decided to target just T-Mobile, Verizon, right? It seems a little not so much anything. It was a scapegoat. Oh yeah, backdoor used by police to listen to Americans gets hijacked by the Chinese and sneak in US networks undetected. True, that happened. Oh. Okay, there it has been tracking this since February 2024, around the time of the Chinese balloon, right before the Baltimore ship. The Baltimore ship, I forgot about that. There was a Baltimore ship that went off of its docked form. It just started working, started moving, and then crashed into a bridge. And it looked, you could see lights flickering on and off like there was a restart happening, like something was trying to maintain control of the system. And when they started losing control, they restarted the whole system. All the lights went down, and then it just restarted again and then continued going towards that bridge. That was weird. That was super weird. Chinese hackers break into American government military accounts. Smart news. This basically is what started this whole thing. February 2024, weird shit starting to happen. After that point, it just continued. We had AT&T getting hacked multiple times, all of our data being leaked, botnet activity. Like if there it is, there's the shit. Look at this. Look at this. Look at those flickering lights. How many times it flickered? One, two. It kept restarting. When you restart the system, it doesn't it maintains every single degree of motion. You would restart a server so no one has control to like if you've got a target movement of the ship that you want to go towards, you restart the system so you prevent anyone else from changing your path. That's all you do. You prevent them from getting software control of the system that you're working with. And it just looks like it just keeps restarting. Here's where it straightens out though. Restarts at an angled arc. The actual churning has happened. The churning has commenced, so they just keep resetting it so no one takes back control of the turn. And then this reset, it straightens out and crashes into the bridge. Some weird stuff. Weird, weird, weird stuff. Um, yeah. So I've been keeping a breadcrumb trail, and there's a lot more. Like the cyber war case, you can see I have a ton. I don't know how you can filter like specific timelines. I wish you can just filter specific timelines. Because I posted a bunch of these Casper Sky maps that show the direct progression. Otherwise, you'd probably have to like let me see. Date? Can I do date? No, can I filter through date? No, I can't help. Oh, okay. Okay. So let's call it January 2024 to mm, September 2024. Right? I mean, that's what I just did, no? Nothing changed. Can you not do date search? Is this not? Oh, maybe the day too. Uh, uh. Maybe I have to like put in extra details. An actual search term. Okay. There we kind of go. All right, there we go. Cyber war. I'm just gonna get rid of this. Can I just search for everything in that space? Nice. Oh, also doing market stuff. True. Idiocracy. Ah, no. Oh, okay. This is me doing market stuff, market stuff. Okay, so potentially not directly September. Let's do July. More market stuff, more market stuff. There we go. Oh, been watching Cybermat here and they're cautious of its sourcing data because technically Kaspersky's maps, these maps that I'm getting them from, they're they are Russian. And I've been watching, not even watching as actively as I used to. But if I look at the actual information now, it's not much. Also, they changed something. If I'm moving, it resets. This is normal, maybe. Is that coming from Moscow? Wow, it is. Moscow's acting up. But at one point, this was empty. It was quiet for months on end, but I was still hearing about all these hacks happening and then these intrusions and all this stuff. I was like, how come it's empty here? There's Ukraine. But I'm hearing all this stuff on the news because it would really work side by side in the past around February. So I'm assuming now it's not very accurate or even useful because I'm sure they nuked the crap out of this data. It's not going to be informative anymore. So I don't trust Kaspersky after the point of these because I saw some weird stuff like this, like intense fights in China, V for data. Dun, 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 dun. You see how I kind of kept track of it here and there, and I should really tag it a little bit better. Medium severity, low. This was a screenshot of something. What was I screenshotting there? Hmm. Pakistan getting fucked, China getting fucked again. There was way more. There were so many. It feels like there should be more of them. You would actually have to like find your way back to this date and look around that date. But I don't feel like X has a very good way to go back in time and look through a certain filter space. I mean, this should really give me every single post in that space, but if we go into February itself, unless it's just not giving me as much details, was a huge post on the Chinese balloon. I had an actual Chinese balloon showing, unless that happened before February. Okay, yeah, there's a bunch of them now. There we go. Okay, okay. Yup, 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 yup. Oh yeah, there was so much chaos happening here. Like the US at one point was kicking China's ass, and then at another point it reversed trajectory. Look at China getting fucked. Look at that shit. This is still towards China? Yeah, this is you see where the rings are? That's the final attack vector. And then the UK got starting getting fucked. Oh my God, it was insane. It was like watching like a 1998 hackers movie, seeing what's happening. Look at this. Now, you may see, why is United States trying to fight UK? It's not them fighting UK. They probably had something hijacked, and they're trying to figure out how to fix it. So they're trying to overload hijacked servers. And then the US was getting fucked at another point from Moscow, Ukraine, random places. It was insane. Ugh, anyway, I gotta get ready for some students. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you guys for hanging out this long with me, asking questions, working with I just made a calculator on Python. Nice. Sorry, see, sometimes I get distracted and I don't notice it. Nice. That's a good start. Using AI can also help you expand that. But that is a good start. It's trying to figure out how to organize your pieces. Remember, splitting your files also helps a lot with managing bigger projects. It's not necessary, obviously, just like objects aren't necessary. But keep working on it. Keep working on it. Ask any questions you may have. Thanks for joining, staying this long. And I'll be back potentially tomorrow. I'll try to do everyday streams um relative to these. Today was more of like a chill puzzle hacking thing happening over here. Let me quit this here. But I gotta get ready. I'm gonna eat some food and I'm gonna get ready for some students that are coming up. I have 7 hours of students, one after another. So that's exciting. I just wanted to play a little game so I can kind of get happy for a moment. How do I exit this? Settings, exit game. Yes. Anyway, thanks for joining. I'll see you next time. Much appreciated for attendance. Ask any questions next time and like, subscribe, put the notification so when I'm on next time and you have any questions, you'll see when I am on through the notification bell and you can ask your questions. Anyway, peace out. Thanks for joining. I forgot to do that.